live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Hello there, good evening and a warm welcome to the 9 p.m. news of the most prestigious channel in Sri Lanka, bringing you the stories from across the globe and here at home. I'm Sunal Paramithana.
And I'm Kasni Balachandra Adhikari. We start off with a look at your headlines for tonight.
Petition against holding of a secret ballot at the Sitavaka Pradeshya Sabha rejected without a hearing. Gov pays spot fine payment facility from September. A special group of representatives to visit USA before August to hold discussions in order to get tariffs further reduced. Bilateral amendatory loan agreements between the government of Sri Lanka and the Saudi Fund for Development signed. COPE Committee recommends to take legal steps to convert SLIIT, a Mahapula-administrated institution, again. Program to provide a monthly allowance of 5,000 rupees for children under certain custody and street children from tomorrow. 30 persons perish in renewed fighting in Syria. Taking a look at your local developments for tonight, the appeal court today decided to reject a petition without hearing today, which was filed requesting to issue an interim injunction order by the Western Provincial Council Commissioner, preventing the holding of a secret ballot to select the chairman and the vice chairman of the Sitavaka Pradeshya Sabha.
The verdict was delivered by the chairman of the appeal court, Justice Rohantabe Surya and Justice Priyantha Fernando. The chairman justice delivering the verdict mentioned that the petitioner party has failed to satisfy the court regarding the presence of a valid reason sufficient to consider the petition. According to the verdict, since justifiable facts have not been revealed to issue summons to take up the petition for hearing, it will be rejected without a fee. The petition was filed by a group of opposition councillors of Sitavaka Pradeshya Sabha, and the Western Provincial Council Commissioner Sarangika Jayasundar and a group of others were named as respondents. Meanwhile, petitions filed on behalf of Mavadagam and Sitavaka urban councils pertaining to this matter were also rejected. Deputy Minister Sunil Vatagala said that the recent court verdict had become a landmark ruling in the country's legal history. He explained that the judgment confirmed the legal position that, in the absence of relevant provisions in the Provincial Council Elections Act, the procedure should be carried out based on the discretion of the Provincial Commissioner. He further said that the Commissioner has the authority to decide whether to hold an open vote or a secret ballot according to her own judgment. He emphasized that those who previously caused disruption would now have to face the relevant official procedures in accordance with the Commissioner's discretion rather than continuing to stir unrest. Meanwhile, the National People's Power secured the administrative power of Beruwala Urban Council and the Bandaragama Pradeshya Sabha. The election of the mayor of Beruwala Urban Council was conducted through an open ballot. Mohammad Hazahir Mohammad Mabazim of the National People's Power was elected the mayor. B. Vimalasiri of Samagijana Balavege was unanimously elected the deputy mayor. The voting to elect the chairman of the Bandaragama Urban Council was held today. In the secret held, Samin Jayage of the National People's Power was elected as the chairman. The vice chairman has been Councillor Roshan Rajitha of National Freedom Front.
The Information Communication Technology Agency, or ICTA, says that GovPay facility to pay traffic spot fines will be implemented island-wide from September this year. The agency expressed these views joining a media briefing held on the payment of traffic spot fines online and GovPay facility. This system was launched on last February as a pilot project under the patronage of President Anurakumara Dissanayake. It was functioning from Kurunegala to Anuradhapura. A website in relation with this was also launched today at the media briefing by Deputy Minister of Youth Affairs Eranga Weeraratne. The first phase of this pilot project is scheduled to be started by the end of this month, connecting all police stations in the western and southern provinces. Meanwhile, Director Board member of the ICTA, Harsha Purasinghe, says that they expect to increase the 65 million rupee income earned through digital payments up to 100 million rupees. Director Board member of the ICTA, Harsha Purasinghe, said that reaching 50 organizations is a significant milestone, but the real journey begins now. The immediate goal is to take on board 100+ government organizations within the next couple of months and drive massive citizen adoption of digital payments across these services. The government is aiming for over ₹1 billion in transaction value within the next 12 months, bringing unparalleled convenience to citizens, advancing Sri Lanka's vision for a truly digital government and contributing meaningfully towards the government ambition of achieving a $15 billion digital economy. Among the top performing institutions on the platform are University of Moratuwa, Kotalawala Defence University, Department of Technical Education and Training and the Apeksha Cancer Hospital, each reflecting high transaction volumes and user trust. ICTA also announced promising progress on the online traffic fine payment system, a real-time traffic fine issuance and payment system. Launched as a pilot in April 2025 across selected police divisions, the system has already processed 461 digital transactions, collecting over ₹739,500. The pilot project is currently active in locations including Kurunagala, Anuradhapura, Dambulla, Kakirawa and surrounding divisions.
ව්‍යාප්ත කරන්න සති කිහිපයකට කලින් අපිට ඒ කැබිනට් අනුමැතිය ලැබුණා. ඒකින්ද අපි දඩමුදල් ඩිජිටල් ආකාරයෙන් ගැනීමේ ක්‍රමය නැත්නම් ට්‍රැෆික් ස්පොට් ෆයින් සිස්ටම් එකේ මේ මාසේ පටන් ගන්නවා. ඊට පස්සේ තාමත්ම කඩිනම් වැඩපිළිවෙලකින් රට පුරාම සැප්තැම්බර් මාසෙ වෙනකොට සියලුම පොලිස් ස්ථාන ආවරණය වෙ පරිදි ස්ථානීය දඩමුදල් ගෙවීමේ ක්‍රමය GovPay දැන් මේක ලොන්ච් කරන දවස් වගේ නෙමෙයි අප්‍රේල් මාසේ ලොන්ච් කරනකොට හුඟක් ඇප්ස් රෙඩි වෙලා තිබ්බේ නැහැ. අද ඇප්ස් රෙඩි වෙලා තිනවා. Tamanට කැමති ඇප් එකක් Tamanට කැමති බැංකුවක් පාවිච්චි කරලා ස්පොට් ෆයින් ගෙවන්න පුළුවන්.
Chairman of the ICTA, Dr. Hans Vijaysurya, says that the number of institutions that have connected with the GovPay program will be broadened up to 100 entities by September this year.
සේවා ලබා ගැනීම සහ ගෙවීම් කිරීමේ හැකියාව ලබා දෙන්නත් අපේ ප්ලෑන් එකක් තියෙනවා ඉස්සරහට.
Chairman of the Export Development Board, Mangala Vijayasinghe, says that a group of government representatives is scheduled to arrive in the USA before the 1st of August for talks to reduce the new trade tariff. He made his remarks at a media briefing held in Colombo. Chairman of the Export Development Board, Mangala Vijayasinghe, stated that the President had emphasized the importance of continuing discussions even after the election scheduled for August. He mentioned that such discussions would be held consistently not to achieve Sri Lanka's anticipated national objectives, taking into account the prevailing economic and social conditions. He further said that the Export Development Board of Sri Lanka was aiming to surpass the previous export revenue of $18 billion. He highlighted that the United States market remained particularly important and emphasized that the need to preserve and further secure access to international markets, especially while safeguarding trade benefits like the GSP concessions. Meanwhile, experts expressed their views regarding the 30% trade tariff imposed by the US government today as well. Professor Vasantha Korala of the Peradeniya University stated that although Sri Lanka currently engages in trade with the United States, there's potential to diversify into other markets in the future. He explained that Sri Lanka's industrial sector could benefit from coastal access and that foreign industries might also relocate to the country. He observed that the global export industry could experience major shifts in the coming years and that such changes would require time. He emphasized the need to analyze market trends, manage import costs effectively and promote domestic production as a strategic response. He further mentioned that Sri Lanka has the opportunity to enter into trade agreements not only with the United States but also with other countries.
The signing of bilateral amendatory loan agreements between the Government of Sri Lanka and the Saudi Fund for Development under the external debt restructuring process of Sri Lanka was conducted today at the Ministry of Finance. Under the signing of the bilateral amendatory loan agreements between the Government of Sri Lanka and the Saudi Fund for Development, the total of entire restructured money is about 517 million Saudi riyals. On behalf of the Sri Lankan government, Secretary to the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Dr. Harshana Suryaperuma, signed the agreements. Chief Executive Officer of the Saudi Development Fund, Sultan Abdul Rahman A. Al Marshad, signed for the agreements on behalf of Saudi Arabia.
Bail request of the former State Minister Prasanna Ranavir was rejected today. He is one of the suspects accused of preparing a fraudulent deed for state land in Kiribatkoda and selling it. Mahara Magistrates Court today ordered the case to be resummoned on the 28th of July. The Case against former State Minister Prasanna Ranavir Sarath Edrisinghe alias Singapore Sarath and Ajit Milroy was heard again today at the Mahara Magistrates Court through Skype technology. The rest of the suspects of this case, former Minister Mervyn Silva, Jayantha Cabral and Naveen Veerakone, were released on bail by the Gampaha High Courts recently. Lawyers appeared for Prasanna Ranavir and other suspects at the courts today pointed out that since the major suspects and several others have been released on bail, the rest of the suspects should also be released. They requested the Mahara Magistrate Kantana N. Silva to release these suspects on a suitable bail condition. Then the magistrate refused their request and ordered to re-summon the case on the 28th. The Colombo High Court today ordered to release former Minister Duminda Dissanayake on bail. He was remanded in connection with having a gold-plated firearm in his possession. Foreign travel ban was also imposed on Duminda Dissanayake. Considering the bail request made by the suspect, Colombo High Court Judge Manju Tilakaratna gave this order. Accordingly, the suspect was released on 250,000 rupees cash bail and 2 personal bails, each worth 5 million rupees. The judge also ordered the sureties should be residents in the Colombo district. Former Minister Rajit Senaratne has presented an anticipatory bail application to the Colombo Magistrates Court, requesting to release him prior to the arrest by the Bribery Commission. Considering the bail application, Colombo Chief Magistrate Tanuja Lakmali Jayatunga has ordered to issue notices to the Bribery Commission to submit the facts regarding this matter before the courts on the 18th of July.
The program to provide a monthly allowance of 5,000 rupees for street children and children who are under the custody of care institutions will commence tomorrow. Now, this is a proposal mentioned in the policy manifesto of the National People's Power and proposal submitted by last budget. Minister Saroja Savitri Paulraj stated that a new savings account named Artha was scheduled to be launched the following day under the full sponsorship of the National Savings Bank. She explained that this initiative is primarily aimed at children under probation in institutional care and those identified as vulnerable across the country. She noted that each child will receive 5,000 rupees to help with future planning and essential living costs. According to her, 9,181 children residing in 356 child development centers island-wide would benefit from this program. She further mentioned that of the 5,000 rupees allocated per child, 3,000 rupees would be handed over to the respective institutions for the children's immediate care, while 2,000 rupees would be deposited into their individual Artha savings accounts. These children would be able to access the savings after reaching the age of 18 to use for their future development and expenses. Deputy Minister Namal Sudarshana stated that under the Artha program, a portion of the allocated funds would be used to provide nutritional support and assistance for institutionalized children and street children. He emphasized that the program includes specific interventions aimed at improving the nutritional well-being of these children alongside the broader financial support being offered.
Police say that no any diplomatic or security level information has been received so far regarding the fact that organized crime gang members Kehel Pattara Padme and Commando Salanta are under arrest in Malaysia. Police media spokesman ASP F.U. Woodler made these remarks at a media briefing held in Colombo today. Police media spokesman ASP F.U. Woodler said that no official report had been received diplomatically by the Sri Lanka Police or the Criminal Investigation Department of Sri Lanka Police. However, on the 11th of July, they received a special message from Malaysia, and according to an international central agency, Sri Lanka's Criminal Investigation Department was informed that 2 Sri Lankan suspects had been taken into custody and assistance was sought from Sri Lankan police to identify them. Accordingly, photographs and fingerprints of the 2 suspects were sent to the Criminal Investigation Department and the Criminal Records Division to confirm their identities. As a result, one of them had been identified as the 20-year-old Sri Lankan male. After notifying Malaysia again regarding this person, the Malaysian authorities will proceed further in accordance with Malaysian immigration and immigration laws, including possible deportation or police actions. Furthermore, the police media spokesman said that from January 1st to July 11th, the combined efforts of the armed forces and the Special Task Force of Sri Lanka Police across the country had resulted in the seizure of 9 kilograms and 200 milliliters of heroin, 1,386 kilograms of crystal meth, that's ice, 11,985 kilograms of cannabis, 22 kilograms of cocaine and 322 kilograms of hashish. He added that 106,000 individuals had been arrested during this period and that this special nationwide joint operation had yielded extremely successful results, and he also expressed gratitude to the public for their support and cooperation.
The COPE committee recommends to take necessary legal actions to take the Sri Lanka Information Technology Institute again under the Mahapula Fund following a thorough investigation. The committee points out that changing the SLIT as a fully privatized institute has done illegally. This recommendation was given when the Lalit Athulat Mudali Mahapula Scholarship Fund was called up recently before the COPE committee to investigate the Auditor General's report of 2022 and 2023 and the current functioning. It was discussed lengthily that the way of acquiring this entity under the recommendation of the then minister is totally illegal. The Sri Lanka Information Technology Institute has paid 480 million rupees to the Mahapula Scholarship Fund for this purpose. The member parliamentarians of the COPE committee stated that it is problematic that an institution belonging to the Mahapula Fund itself having acquired the right of another institution which is also come under the Mahapula Fund. Thereby, the chairman of the COPE committee stresses that such illegal and fraudulent activities should be stopped even in the future by bringing the culprits into book. They also stressed that some elements may attempt to create a false opinion that a university-level institute with large number of students would collapse due to the investigations of the COPE committee. Therefore, it was decided to maintain the Sri Lanka Information Technology Institute without any change and should be placed under the purview of the Mahapula Fund. The committee further stressed that this move may help a large number of students to follow degree courses at concessionary rates.
The All Ireland Egg Producers Association has decided to reduce the price of eggs for this week, starting from yesterday, by fixing a new farm price for eggs. This decision has been taken after a discussion held to decide prices consisting small and large-scale farmers, traders and animal food producers. Accordingly, the price of a white egg has been fixed at 26 rupees, while the price of a brown egg has been fixed at 28 rupees as farm price. The wholesale price of a white egg has been 29 rupees, while the wholesale price of a brown egg stands at 31 rupees. The chairman of the All Ireland Egg Producers Association says that the decision has been taken with the objective of providing the benefit of the surplus of eggs recently to the consumers. Chairman of the All Ireland Egg Producers Association, Sarath Ratnaik, pointed out that they mentioned that there was a time when mother hens stopped laying eggs, but suddenly egg production rose to 700,000 to 800,000 per day. However, that too came to an end due to the increase in broiler prices. Recently, during the Tamil New Year period, people refrained from consuming meat and eggs, which also affected the market. That phase ended last Saturday and demand began to rise. They said that when they culled hens from 30 weeks down to 25 weeks, old birds were sold off, resulting in around 500,000 to 600,000 hens being removed from the system. The reclining position of the wild elephant Bhatia, which is in critical condition at present, was changed today.
The position of the elephant turned under the supervision of the Peradeniya Veterinary Medicine Facility or Faculty, Professor Ashok Dangolla. He says that the elephant's condition is still critical. The tusker, which usually roamed in Abanpula, Galgamua, Nikavaratiya and Mahava areas, was injured last February. However, treatments for the elephant started only from the 19th of May. Since then, the Nikavaratiya Wildlife Veterinary Unit has given treatment to the animal 28 occasions. Despite the treatment, the elephant's health condition became gradually critical and lying on a pool of water at the Pulpithikama area. Later, the Wildlife Veterinary Unit consulted the Peradeniya University Veterinary Medical Faculty for further treatment from the 6th of this month. The officials attempted to remove the elephant from the pool of water. However, the attempt was stopped due to the poor health condition of the animal. Then, the veterinary surgeon Tharindu Vijayakon started treatment to the elephant with the support of Nikavaratiya Wildlife Veterinary Unit under the guidance of Professor Ashok Dangolla. Accordingly, the elephant was given nutrition components and antibiotics. Professor Ashok Dangolla again inspected the animal on the 10th of this month. The elephant's heel was dismantled from the leg and the officials started treatment for the damaged foot as well. Meanwhile, the elephant showed positive response and started consuming food and moving its trunk and legs to a certain extent. Today, its position was changed considering all these facts. The Pradeshi Sabha Mahava wildlife officials, army teams and volunteer groups have also extended their support to change the elephant's lying-in position. The pool where the elephant is lying was filled with water and the elephant was taken to a deeper place and changed its position without harming the animal. Professor Ashoka Dangolla inspected the health condition and said that there are several deep wounds in the other side of the elephant. Due to pressing in the mud, the skin also has some damages and the gunshot injury near the ear is in very infectious condition. Professor Ashoka Dangolla said the injuries were more severe than initially expected, especially the deep wounds on the lower side. They believe the gunshot near the ear was particularly concerning. He said that the body maintains its balance through the inner ear and this injury may have damaged the glands in the middle ear. He emphasized that even though the external wounds may heal, internal injuries are still present. Starting today, the treatment approach would need to be changed. Due to the damage to the animal's ear, it might not be able to regain the proper balance, making a full recovery uncertain. However, they stressed that they would not give up on trying. More local stories on the other side of this break.
Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
In more local stories for tonight, Minister of Health and Mass Media Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa says that a higher amount of grants have been allocated to the indigenous medicine sector by the budget of this year.
The minister made this observation during an inspection tour of Kaithari Siddha Teaching Hospital in Jaffna recently. The minister was enlightened about the strategic objectives of Kaithari Siddha Teaching Hospital for 2025, information about patients of the OPD, products of the medicine production unit, teaching and training activities, operational projects, infrastructure facilities development and other necessities by the Chief Medical Superintendent of the hospital and the staff. The minister added that steps have been taken to provide quick solutions for a large number of problems in the indigenous health sector. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that they expressed hope that within 3 years, 1,000 new primary healthcare centres would be established at village level. Even if not all 1,000 are completed, they plan to integrate Ayurvedic medical practices where appropriate, depending on the needs of each area to provide better healthcare services to people. They also stated that priority is being given to the development of medical tourism in the country, and furthermore, approval has been granted to appoint 304 doctors in this sector, and they assured that these appointments would be made promptly.
Minister of Trade, Commerce and Food Security and Cooperative Development Vasantha Samarasinha says that the statement jointly made by the All Island Joint Special Economic Centres and Manning Market Traders Union stating that the government is to give 14 economic centres to a private company is totally false. The minister made these remarks holding a media briefing today. Minister Vasantha Samarasinha said that these economic centres are neither being taken over by the government nor they are to be operated as government institutions. Instead, a fully state-owned company is being established to manage the operations of the company responsible for providing the necessary facilities to run the economic centres efficiently. He emphasized that this was not the result of a single discussion but of multiple discussions. The minister also pointed out that several individuals who participated in these discussions had falsely claimed to the press regarding the staff involved.
Anti-Pyramid National Awareness Week has commenced against the banned pyramid scheme project from today until the 18th of July by the Finance Consumer Relation Department of the Central Bank.
This has been compiled under the theme Pyramid is a Trap, Don't Get Into the Wrong Track. The objective of this national program is to raise broad awareness regarding the danger caused to single individuals as well as the entire economy regarding the banned pyramid scheme to maintain the stability of the financial system and promoting the well-being of financial consumers parallel to the activities of the central bank. Awareness and alertness is essential in order to ensure the trust on the financial system and to safeguard oneself as well as the others from financial frauds. The central bank is requesting the general public to attain awareness by actively participating in this program. Calling up applications for re-scrutinizing the GCE Ordinary Level Examination results 2024 commences from today to the 28th of this month. The exam results were released on the 10th of this month. Out of the entire students who wrote the exam, 73.45% of students have qualified for A-levels. Indonesian Ambassador to Sri Lanka, Devi Gustina Tobing, met Speaker Dr. Jagat Vikramaratne recently at the Parliament complex. The Speaker stressed the need to further strengthen the long-term relations existing between the two countries. General Secretary of the Parliament, Kushani Rohanadira, was also present at this discussion. The Presidential Export Award ceremony is to be held on December this year at the BMICH premises in Colombo under the patronage of President Anurakumara Dissanayake. An opportunity has been given to applicants to submit their applications online for this event. The award ceremony will be organized by the Sri Lanka Export Development Board for the 27th occasion this year. Vandati Orchid plant belonging to Orchidaceae family, considered to be extinct from this country, has been traced again from Knuckles area after 160 years. This orchid species has been included in the red list since it was considered extinct for more than 160 years when the 2020 red list was processed. After more than 160 years, a plant species believed to be extinct was rediscovered in the Dumbara mountain range. The scientific name of this species is Vandati, which is a species of orchid, and the first recorded observation of this species dates back to 1861. Since then, there has been no reports of its existence until 2020. The species belonging to the CRPE group, which includes plants suspected to be extinct due to the long absence of sightings, and it was also presumed to have vanished. Foreign news on the other side of this break. In foreign news tonight, at least 30 people have been killed in armed clashes between Sunni Bedouin tribal fighters and Druze militias in southern Syria, the country's interior ministry says. The violence erupted in the predominantly Druze city in the province of Suwaida on Sunday, 2 days after a Druze merchant was reportedly abducted on the highways to Damascus. The Interior Ministry called the situation a dangerous escalation and said security forces were being deployed to try to restore the calm. It is the latest outbreak of a deadly sectarian violence in the country since Islamist-led rebel forces overthrew President Bashar al-Assad in December.
Donald Trump has formally accepted an invitation from King Charles III to join him and Queen Camilla for an unprecedented second state visit in Buckingham Palace. The President Trump will be accompanied by his wife, First Lady Melania Trump, for the trip, which is set to take place from 17 to 19 September and will be hosted at Windsor Castle. The location for the state visit was chosen as the typical venue. Buckingham Palace continues to undergo renovations. Trump was hosted by Queen Elizabeth II for his first state visit in 2019 during his first term in office.
Great news from our neighbor. India has reached another historic milestone in space exploration. Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla, the first Indian astronaut to visit the International Space Station, is on his way back to Earth, and his return marks a significant step forward in India's human spaceflight ambitions. The Axiom 4 mission undocked from the International Space Station today. Piloted by Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla and commanded by NASA veteran Peggy Whitson, the mission is expected to splash down in the Pacific Ocean near California within 24 hours. Shukla was joined on board by Polish astronaut Slavoj Uznanski-Wisniewski and Hungary's Tibor Kapu. The four arrived at the ISS on the 26th of June. AX-4 is a privately operated flight by Houston-based Axiom Space in collaboration with NASA, India Space Agency, the European Space Agency and SpaceX. Group Captain Shukla is only the second Indian to travel to space, following in the footsteps of Rakesh Sharma, who flew aboard a Russian Soyuz spacecraft in 1984.
And in your sports news tonight, Bangladesh won the second T20 international match against Sri Lanka by 83 runs yesterday.
And this has been recorded as the second highest margin by which the Bangladesh team has recorded a victory in a T20 match. The match was played at the Damul International Cricket Stadium in the presence of a huge crowd. Sri Lanka, winning the toss, asked Bangladesh to bat first. Accordingly, Bangladesh scored 177 runs for the loss of 7 wickets in their 20 overs. Liton Das, playing a captain's innings, scored 76 runs, while Shamim Hossain contributed with a fine knock of 48 runs. In bowling, Binura Fernando captured 3 wickets. Sri Lanka, chasing a victory target of 178 runs, lost the wicket of opener Kusal Mendis when he was run out for 8 runs. He was able to surpass the mark of 2,000 runs in the international T20 format of his career. Later, when Sri Lanka were 4 wickets down for just 30 runs, a 5th wicket partnership of 41 runs between Pathum Nissanka and Dasun Shanaka raised the hopes of a Sri Lankan victory when Bangladesh got rid of Pathum Nissanka for 32 runs. Dasun Shanaka scored 20 runs. Bangladeshi bowlers did not allow the remaining batsmen to go past 10 runs, and Sri Lanka were bowled out for just 94 runs in 15.2 overs. In bowling, Rishad Hossain claimed 3 wickets, while Shariful Islam and Mohammad Saifuddin shared 2 wickets each. At present, both the teams are at par with 1 victory each. The series decider will be played on the 16th of this month at the R. Premadasa International Cricket Stadium. And with that, we conclude tonight's main news telecast. Join us same time, same place tomorrow. Signing off for the day, I'm Sunal, alongside Kasuni. Have a good night.
Good night.